somebody calls a lady in his large congregation, and he says, where is this young lady? The first day she came to this church, I prophesied to her, and the prophecy came to pass. Come and share your testimony. And the lady comes on the altar in the large congregation. They are streaming it on YouTube. Nations are watching. Even wicked men, demons are watching. And the lady comes and says, yes, when I came, pastor prophesied to me. When he looked at me, he said, are you a celebrity? Okay, let's go forward. And even though I was not a celebrity, but after he said that to me, it became a prophecy in my life. And today I can tell you that the prophecy has been fulfilled. So what is the prophecy, auntie? Tell us. He said, after pastor prophesied to me, I now went into Big Brother Nigeria house. I became a contestant in Big Brother Nigeria. And then after I became a contestant in Big Brother Nigeria, I have become a DJ. And now that I have become a DJ, my business is flourishing and I'm doing well. The person that is talking, the DJ she's doing is with immoral songs. The Bible says there is something called the attire of a harlot in front of a generation that is struggling to find God. And like the prayer my brother raised, we are the generation that has not found the God our fathers found. And yet we are satisfied where our fathers stopped. You are telling an entire generation that God can prophesy a righteous prophecy. And the righteous prophecy will give birth to lawlessness and immorality. What fellowship? You want to talk? They say, no, don't judge, don't judge. Oh God, what fellowship does righteousness have with lawlessness? I was telling them in Lagos this morning, one of the biggest worship concerts in Africa. They bring a comedian to come and crack jokes. The biggest worship meeting in Africa. A comedian comes to crack jokes, and he doesn't know the difference between what is sacred and what is secular. He's cracking jokes using pastor's wife. Say hustle, so that they not go carry pastor wife for inside jeep. Then pastor go come dey confused. Pastor, he's talking about immorality and prostitution, and instead of righteous men to carry their Bibles and say, I've had enough of this madness, they are jumping and they are shouting. They say they are cracking jokes. You know the problem? Our churches are filled with men, but the men are not consecrated. We take attendance in church. We are driven by numbers. We don't know that God doesn't look at numbers. He looks at quality. I'm wondering, you see, you can be angry with me, don't like me, I don't care. You can be angry with me, I don't care. You see, I told myself I will find the God that Idahosa found. And at least before I die, I want a generation to bear witness that this was a man of God. I will pay the price that men like Babalola paid, men like Charles G. Finney paid. And I have studied their lives a little. They came to a point where they made up their mind. There is no fellowship between light and darkness. No fellowship between righteousness and lawlessness. What you owe men is love, not fellowship. God is not moved by a full church. When it comes to a church, he's not looking at the size. He's looking at the sort of men that sit in that church. I've been around long enough to know that size can be useless. If Christianity was about size, by now Nigeria should not be like this. Enter every street, 15 denominations. Go to every city, more than 2,000 denominations. Everywhere. Yet take one person from amongst us, make him local government chairman, he will steal more than the unbeliever. Take one from amongst us, make him a high-ranking politician, he will steal. You were alive here when the National Assembly, they are taking cars of over 130 million. In this National Assembly, they are general overseers, they are deacons. Not one of them stood up and said, in this Nigeria that is poor like this, this is wrong. Not one. They don't want us to talk because some of the people who sit in our churches, they are waiting for their turn. So let me not go and criticize this thing so that when he reach my turn, I will still collect my share. He wants to be. We are raising underground thieves, raising glorified prostitutes. Right now, it's very difficult to be able to see young believers that are not mixing righteousness with lawlessness. For instance, if we check some of your phones right now, we can find comedy skits where the so-called comedian says he's trying to make people laugh, and what he's using as comedy is the size of a woman's breast and the size of a woman's buttocks. Oga, please tell me how that is supposed to be funny. How is that comedy? How is it comedy? You are doing well, you are doing freaky, and then you open all your 32, you are laughing. Meanwhile, Satan is introducing you to a demonic spirit.
Actually, this is a very strong message and nothing but the truth. Indeed, a generation still struggling to find God.